With the release of Lightfall, we got a ton of new weapons, and now that I've had the chance to play around with some different roles with these new weapons, I figured it would be time to share what trait combos I'll be going for, and like the title of this video says, to prevent this video from going on too long, we will just be covering the Neomuna weapons today. And if this video is well received, I'd like to cover all the weapon sets and show you all what I'm looking for, so let me know what you think of this style of video down in the comments, but let's get into it. First off, let's cover the origin trait that each of these weapons will intrinsically have, Nanotech Tracer Rockets. This is a really good origin trait. It says that landing multiple hits will turn your next round into a homing micro rocket. It works a bit differently for each weapon type, but overall, it's a pretty solid perk. So you can see when I slow down the footage here that every so often one of my bullets will turn into one of those tracer rockets that deals bonus damage that also matches the damage type of the weapon. And to avoid just more confusion and making things way too complicated, I'm not going to break down the tracer rockets for every single weapon type. Just know that it does add more damage onto the base bullets after you continuously damage an enemy. So now that we somewhat understand this origin trait, let's cover the weapons themselves, starting with the weapons that you can craft, of which there are 5. And all of these craftable weapons can be found from doing just about anything on Neomuna, ranking up Nimbus, running Terminal Overload, heroic patrols, anything. So the first weapon we'll cover today is the Round Robin Aggressive Frame Strand Hand Cannon. I honestly don't plan on using this weapon too often. I really don't use hand cannons too much, but since strand weapons are so new and this is the only strand hand cannon in the entire game, it's not a bad idea to get this thing at least crafted. And when I do craft it, I'm going for corkscrew rifling for the barrel, ricochet rounds for the mag to help give it a nice boost to its lacking stats. And as for the trait column, the best option here in my opinion is Keep Away. It's a really awesome new trait that launched with Lightfall. This is going to boost your range by 10, reload speed by 30, and will also slightly help your accuracy as long as you're not near combatants. I haven't tested the enhanced version yet, really with any of these Neomuna weapons because I just don't have them to level 16 yet, but the enhanced version of Keep Away does say that it enhances its base trait. It doesn't really say exactly what it does, but I'm assuming it's going to be a slight bump to each one of these stats. Keep Away is super easy to proc, especially with the hand cannon, being that it's a mid-range weapon. You're going to be away from enemies pretty frequently. And for the right column, you've got to go with Hatchling. This will also be super easy to proc, being that all you need to do is get a precision kill. Doing this will spawn in a Threadling that will seek out other enemies. This is basically Strand's version of Headstone, and it's what I'm going for on a lot of these new Strand weapons that came out this season. It's basically just free extra damage for you, and I'm going to be going for a stability enhanced intrinsic here. I probably would have gone for reload speed if Keep Away wasn't an option, but yeah, the plus 30 to reload speed really reduces the need for a reload speed enhanced intrinsic. All right, moving on, we've got the Volta Bracket Aggressive Strand Sniper. I used this one a lot during my first Legend campaign run, and I really haven't touched it since. I'm not too much of a fan of sniper rifles, really in PvE or PvP, and seeing how kinetic snipers straight up do 15% more damage than strand or stasis snipers that are in the same slot, it's hard to justify using this. But like the Round Robin, this is the only strand sniper in the game right now. So that being said, when I do craft it, I will be putting Arrowhead Break on it so I get that 100 recoil direction and slightly better handling, and Tactical Mag to boost the stability and reload speed. Unfortunately, Tactical does not get this up to 4 bullets, it's still just 3, but that's alright. For the left column trait, I'll be adding Envious Assassin, which really fits my playstyle if I end up using this. You basically get kills with other weapons, and it will reload and potentially over-reload Volta Bracket's magazine when you re-equip it. Envious Assassin is great, and I will be adding it on a lot of these new weapons as well. As for the right column, I think I'm going to try Explosive Payload to help get some extra AoE damage when shooting enemies. You could go with the tried and true triple tap firing line roll, but I personally already have so many of those snipers with that exact same combo, I just had to try something else. Volta Bracket does get Hatchling, but I don't think it's going to be as viable on a sniper since you won't be able to proc it as often since it's a sniper, so you can't get kills that quickly with it. Keep Away and either Opening Shot or Eye of the Storm could be a good role for PvP as well if you need a good PvP sniper. I don't really have the need for any more PvP snipers right now. I've got so many that I don't even use them. But for the enhanced intrinsic, what you should be crafting is reload speed since the mag is only 3. It's super low. Iterative Loop is up next. It's the rapid fire frame arc fusion rifle. I really like this thing and I can't wait to get mine crafted. We've got some good arc fusions in the game already with like Mita's Reckoning and the Plug 1, but I really think this one will still set itself apart. You want to go with Arrowhead Break, which will dramatically help the control of that fusion burst, and this will also help a bit with its handling. Accelerated Coils will speed up the charge time, but the bread and butter of this weapon here is a trait combo that I think pairs together really well. Compulsive Reloader is the best option for the first trait column. You'll get faster reload speed with the mag being close to full, and this will come in handy with how often you'll want to reload with the second trait, which is Volt Shot. We all know that Volt Shot is amazing with how it does such great jolting AoE damage. You get a kill, you reload, and then your next shot will automatically jolt an enemy. Which, if you didn't know, when an enemy is jolted, if you damage them, it's going to continuously AoE blast on the surrounding enemies around them. It's very powerful. So with this combo, you just rinse and repeat here. You'll constantly have Volt Shot active here, and it makes it super easy to just clear everything in a room. And to also kind of go with that reload theming that we've got going here, make sure to craft it with a reload enhanced intrinsic, and you're going to be set. This thing's going to be awesome. The Phyllotactic Spiral is the high impact frame arc pulse rifle. High impacts have always felt clunky to me, but I really do like the trait options that we've got here, so I'm still going to give it a shot. I try to like as much in the game as I can. I did just get mine crafted too, so we're going to see how we like it. For the barrel, Arrowhead again will get our recoil direction to that sweet 100, and it also will give us 10 additional handling. I'm going to stick with ricochet rounds here for the boosted stability and range, but if you do want 9 more rounds in the mag, go with extended mag to get it up to 37 rounds. The reload speed is just a bit too slow for me to justify using extended mag, especially how again we'll be utilizing fast reloads with Volt Shot. Compulsive Reloader is an option here for the left column, but I do think you'll see more benefit from using Keep Away since it's again in that mid-range distance to where Keep Away should be procced quite often. Obviously, the right column, I'll be crafting Volt Shot as it is the only Volt Shot pulse rifle in the whole game. There are already other good PV pulses that I've got. I'm not really too concerned with getting another good PvP pulse rifle with the same trait combos as I already have, but if you do need one, Tunnel Vision and Kill Clip or Tunnel Vision Frenzy can be viable options if, again, you do need a good PvP pulse. But remember, this is craftable, so make one for both activities if you really want to do that. It's totally up to you. And finishing up with that enhanced intrinsic, I think if you go the Volt Shot route, you're going to want reload speed, but if you're going PvP, then go with stability or range, up to you. And the final craftable weapon on the Neomuna list is the Dimensional Hypotrochoid. It's a compressed waveframe stasis heavy grenade launcher. This is the first of its kind, and I really hope we see more of these. Standard waveframes are awesome, like the Forbearance, for example. Great weapon. Volatile launch is going to boost the blast radius, which is always good on grenade launchers, and high velocity rounds will buff the reload speed and velocity. Also nice on GLs. Unfortunately, there's not really any stasis synergy here, as I'm pretty sure it would have been too powerful if we had something like Chill Clip in that right column, but there is still a great combo here. I'm gonna sound like a broken record in this video, but Envious Assassin is just too good to pass up on so many of these weapons. It's very easy to proc, and not having to reload is a huge advantage in the game, especially with heavy weapons. In the right column, in my opinion, Chain Reaction is definitely what you should craft. The waveframe feature of this grenade launcher will help proc tons of these explosions. In my opinion, this weapon will most likely be really helpful in legend or higher content where clearing adds and some majors takes more than a few SMG rounds to do. For the enhanced intrinsic, I'm going to go with blast radius. And moving on to our non-crafted weapons, these can only be found in Terminal Overload with the Terminal Overload key on the certain day. So they're not too hard to get, but it definitely is more grindy than getting 5 red borders and just instantly be able to craft exactly what you want. You really have to get lucky with these rolls. Basso Ostinato, the rapid fire void shotgun, is super interesting, and I think it has the potential to be super strong as long as you have the right void build around it. Starting off with a barrel, try to get rifled to get some much needed range. Tactical mag is a great option here as it will give you 1 additional round, 10 reload speed, and 5 stability. And as for the trait combo, in my opinion, the god roll you should be grinding for is Envious Assassin and Destabilizing rounds. We all know that Envious Assassin will reload and potentially overflow the mag by getting kills with other weapons, so that's for sure the best option for this first trait column. If you're running a decent melee build, Grave Robber can be good here, so don't be super bummed out if you get that. But for the right column, you've got to go for Destabilizing rounds. I've got to test this out. Getting kills with this weapon will cause nearby targets to become volatile, and this is a 6.5 meter radius, which is a decent AoE blast. We all know how good volatile is on enemies. Those chain reactions are very satisfying and also very powerful. Any additional way that we can get to proc volatile is a really good addition in my book. And finally, the masterwork you should shoot for here is range. But if you can get that Envious Assassin and destabilizing roll, the masterwork doesn't even matter too much. Next weapon, Synchronic Roulette. It's a precision frame strand SMG. It's not as good as the new Immortal SMG from Trials, but this will be significantly easier to get. As for the barrel, Arrowhead Break will get this to that 100 recoil direction, and it will also help get that super low handling up a bit. And you can't ever go wrong with ricochet rounds for the mag. Boosted stability and range is always good for automatic weapons. Nothing too exciting here in the left column in my opinion, but your best option is Under Pressure since it's typically procced so often in SMGs. You get boosted stability and accuracy as the mag gets lower, so it's basically a free stat boost. For the right trait column, you again have to go with Hatchling. As long as you're landing those headshots, you should have a constant stream of threadlings spawning in, just destroying everything. If you don't like Hatchling though, go with Target Lock. It's a very strong trait that will do more damage as you continuously shoot an enemy. But I wouldn't go with Target Lock unless you're on Legend or higher content though, as most red bars will be dropping within just a couple bullets on normal difficulties, so you won't really be able to take advantage of Target Lock. But for PvP, Target Lock is great, so if you end up getting that, just go ahead and keep it. And finally, for the masterwork, go with a reload speed here because that 19 base reload speed is so low. And finally, let's wrap up this video with the Adaptive Frame Strand LMG, Circular Logic. This is a weapon I've been using very frequently with my strand builds. LMGs are really good right now in a lot of content. And with strand surge mods only costing 1, as long as you have the authorized strand artifact perk unlocked, it's very easy to buff up damage quite a bit. Arrowhead Break, as usual, will get us to that 100 recoil direction and also get us boosted handling. Ricochet rounds for that boosted stability and range. And for the first trait column, you could go with 2 choices that in my opinion can be considered just about equal in what they do. And again, you can't be too picky with non-crafted weapons. Sometimes you just get what you get. Feeding Frenzy or Envious Assassin are my choices here in the left column. I don't think Envious is as important here because of how much ammo LMGs have. You just don't need a ton of ammo in every single LMG mag, so Feeding Frenzy will make this feel fast enough to get you those quick reloads, and you'll easily be able to max out Feeding Frenzy with how easy it is to get those LMG kills. In the right column though, you gotta go with Hatchling if you're primarily using this for ad clear, that is. But if you're going to be doing lots of boss damage, Target Lock is a second choice here. I have one with Vorpal Weapon, that's okay, but that sustained damage will keep improving Circular Logic's damage with that Target Lock. It's just a really good trait for LMGs. I think it's better than Vorpal. Any masterwork will work great here, but stability is always nice on LMGs. And that wraps up the Neomuna weapons. I hope this helped you better understand which traits you should be going for. If you have any questions on anything, as always, don't hesitate to ask in the comments, and of course, you're all welcome to the Discord. This is kind of a newer video style for me. I typically don't do just straight up weapon recommendation videos, so again, let me know if this is something that you want to see more of. If you didn't like it, also let me know so you can kind of keep me on course here. Well, that is it for this one. I will see you all in the next video.